Vaults families, to this week's Sunday Storytime. Get ready to mark your calendars with this week's news and coming events, which will be followed by a news story for the week. Can't wait to find out what it is. And the final segment will be our Mindful Minute with Mrs. Papa. Stay tuned. In this week's events at Vaults,
there is no school for students on Memorial Day, which is Monday, May 30th, 2022. Mark your calendars. Field Day is happening on Friday, June 3rd. Look out for more information to come.
Kindergarten is having their end of the year celebration on June 7th at 1 p.m. Each student will be allowed 3 tickets, so 3 guests per student.
El grado de kinder estará celebrando su fiesta de fin de año el 7 de junio a la 1 de la tarde. Cada estudiante tendrá 3 taquillas para la fiesta. Serían 3 personas por cada estudiante.
5th grade is going to hold their moving up ceremony on June 9th at 10 a.m. in the gymnasium, and there will also be 3 guests per student for that event.
Quinto grado también tendrá su ceremonia el 9 de junio a las 10 de la mañana en el gimnasio y también serían 3 personas por cada estudiante.
The last day of school is going to be happening on June 10th. There will be lots of different ways that people are celebrating, but it's a full day of school on June 10th, last day of school this year.
El último día de clases será el 10 de junio. Habrán diferentes maneras de celebrar el fin de año, pero el 10 de junio será un día entero de escuela y también será el último día de clases.
Good evening, Vaults families, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Storytime. My name is Mrs. Clank, and I teach 5th grade. Tonight, I will be reading Ada Twist, Scientist. Ada Marie said not a word till the day she turned 3. She bounced in her crib and looked all around, observing the world, not making a sound. She learned how to climb and made her big break, with a trail of chaos left in her wake. She ran through the day, chasing each sound in sight, and didn't slow down till she conked out at night. Her parents were frazzled, but tried not to freak, as Ada grew bigger and still did not speak. Clearly, young Ada, with lots in her head, would have something to say when it ought to be said. That's just what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree and climbed up the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled stop, as all good parents would. Ada's chin quivered, but she did not cry. She took a deep breath and she simply asked, why? Why does it tick and why does it talk? Why don't we call it a granddaughter clock? Why are there pointy things stuck to a rose? Why are there hairs up inside of your nose? She started with why and then what, how, and when. By bedtime, she came back to why once again. She drifted to sleep as her dazed parents smiled at the curious thoughts of their curious child, who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, you'll figure it out. Her parents kept up with their high-flying kid, whose questions and chaos both grew as she did. Even Miss Greer found her hands were quite full when young Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. But this much was clear about Miss Ada Twist: she had all the traits of a great scientist. Ada was busy that first day of spring, testing the sounds that make mockingbirds sing, when a horrible stench whacked her right in the nose, a pungent aroma that curled up her toes. Zowie, said Ada, which got her to thinking, what is the source of that terrible stinking? How does a nose know where there's something to smell? And does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped on her chin. She started at the start where she ought to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest. This was the moment that Ada loved best. Ada did research to learn all she could of smelling and smells, both the stinky and good. One hypothesis Ada thought could be true. The terrible stink came from Dad's cabbage stew. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with hypothesis 2. Then, zowie, stink struck again. Just like that, hypothesis 2, it's caused by the cat. The cat couldn't make such a stink on its own. It needed perfume and some fancy cologne. So young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents yelled, stop! Ada Marie, to the thinking chair now by the time we count 3. Enough, said her mother. That's it, said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. Why? Ada questioned. Her mother said, no. What? Ada queried. Her father said, go. You've ruined our supper. You've made the cat stink. Enough with your questions. Now sit there and think. She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know what to do. She sat all alone by herself in the hall, and Ada once more could say nothing at all. And so Ada sat, and she sat, and she sat, and she thought about science and Stu and the cat. And her experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of that terrible stinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do. She asked a small question, and then she asked 2. And each of those led to her 3 questions or more. And some of those questions resulted in 4. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped on her chin. She started at why, and then what, how, and when. At the end of the hall, she reached why once again. Her parents calmed down, and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and just had to gawk. No patch of bare paint could be seen on the wall. The thinking chair now was the great thinking hall. They watched their young daughter and sighed as they did. What could they do with this curious kid who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, we'll figure it out. And that's what they did, because that's what you do when your kid has a passion and a heart that is true. They remade their world. Now they're all in the act of helping young Ada sort fiction from fact. She asked lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart of a young scientist. And as for that smell, what can Ada Twist do but learn all she can with her friends in grade 2? Will they discover the stink that curls toes? Well, that is the question, and someday, who knows? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of Sunday Storytime. Have a great week.
Hi Bald Bears, welcome back to another episode of Mindful Minute. For this week's mindfulness activity, we're going to do breathing waves. It's time to relax and let your brain take a mini vacation. Get comfy where you are and start by relaxing your body. Imagine you are near the ocean. Maybe you're laying on the beach or playing in the sand. The water looks calm and peaceful. Imagine the waves. Are they big or are they small? Imagine breathing in relaxation and breathing out any big feelings you may have. As my paintbrush goes up the wave, I want you to inhale. As my paintbrush goes down the wave, I want you to exhale. Let's try it together. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's do it one more time together. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. This week, if you have any big or uncomfortable feelings, be sure to try wave breathing. Wave breathing is another strategy to help you when you have those uncomfortable feelings. It can also help your brain reset and get ready for the day. Thanks for watching another episode of Mindful Minute. I'll see you next week.
Miss Persani with this week's big question. In the story, Ada Twist Scientist, it said that Ada didn't start talking until she was 3 years old. Here's your question. What was Ada's first word? Don't forget to turn in your answers into one of the blue boxes found all around the school by Wednesday afternoon. Thanks for watching and have a great week. Hey guys, it's Miss Persani. Don't forget to like and share this video, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another episode. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, you rock.
Go!